makes the ball to move or stop? Why does a ball when thrown upwards return to us? What helps us to walk? What are machines? What is energy? And what is work?
Hello, my dear students. To get all the answers, let's study about force, energy, and work. We see many objects around us, like book, tree, table, etc. To move them, you either push or pull them. And this push or pull of an object is called force. And what can be done with force? It can move an object that is at rest. It can stop a moving object. It can change the shape of an object. It can also change the speed and direction of an object. There are two types of forces which act all the time, and these are gravitational force and frictional force. Let's explore more. Number 1. Gravitational force. It is a force of attraction between two objects. It is a force of attraction between Sun and the planets that make the planets move around the Sun. Earth has a power to attract everything towards its center. And this force that pulls objects towards the earth is called gravity. Objects, when thrown up, fall back on the earth because the earth's gravity pulls them towards it. And you will be surprised to know if the earth didn't have this force, things would have been floating like the astronauts float in spaceships in space. And this gravitational force is discovered by Isaac Newton. Number 2. Frictional force. When two surfaces are in contact with each other, they exert a force on each other, which opposes their motion. This force is called frictional force. It is the friction between the object and the ground that slows down the movement of the moving object and stops it. Now let's do the activity. Push your toy car on the carpet or on a rough surface. You will observe that it slows down and stops after some time because the force of friction is more on the rough area. Now push the toy car on the smooth surface. Does it go further? Yes, because the force of friction is less on a smoother area. We are able to walk because of the frictional force, but it will be difficult to walk on oily or greasy surface. This is because the presence of oil reduces the frictional force and hence we can slip easily. So, rougher the surface, greater is the friction, and smoother the surface, lesser is the friction. But sometimes we want to reduce friction to increase the efficiency of an object on which the force is applied. For example, we use oil to reduce the friction between the moving parts inside a car engine. If we don't reduce friction, the efficiency of the machine will also get reduced, and that means more energy will be required to do the same amount of work. And now the next topic is work. When we use force to move things, we do work. So, work is said to be done when the force applied on an object is able to move the object. In this picture, the object is moving by applying force, means work is said to be done. But now the object is not moving by applying force. That means no work is done. Let's proceed and learn about energy. Energy is the ability to do work. When we apply force on an object, our body uses energy. Sometimes, when we are tired and weak, we cannot do any work because there is not sufficient energy in our body. We need energy to run, walk, play, etc. We get energy from the food we eat. There are different forms of energy. Let's discuss about them. Number 1. Solar energy. Sun is the main source of energy on the earth. The energy of the sun is called solar energy. There are so many uses of solar energy, like plants use this energy to make food. Solar panels are used to produce electricity. Solar cookers are used to cook food, and solar batteries are used in watches, etc. Number 2. Wind energy. Energy of moving air is used to produce electricity. When the wind turns the blades of a windmill, it spins a turbine to produce electricity. Number 3. Water energy. The flow of water from the dams is used to run the turbine, and thus water energy also gets converted into electricity. Number 4. Heat energy. Fuels are burnt to produce heat and power. Some of them used to cook food like coal, wood, LPG, etc. Some of them are used to run the vehicles like petrol, diesel, etc. Let's learn about machines now. A machine is a device that makes our work simpler, easier, and faster. They also reduce time, effort, and energy to do work. Simple machines are those that have a simple structure and work on a simple and basic principle. They have few or no moving parts. We use so many simple machines in our daily life, like a pair of scissors, tongue, wheelbarrow, hammer, etc. There are 6 types of simple machines: lever, wheel and axle, inclined plane, wedge, pulley, screw. Let's learn about them one by one. Number 1. Lever. In order to move a big stone with hands, a person needs to apply a lot of force. But if a small stone is kept as a support below the rod and force is applied from the other end, the stone moves with less effort. So, lever is a straight rod that is fixed at one point and helps to lift or move the object from the other point. Seesaw, scissors, bottle opener are some of the examples of lever. Number 2. Wheel and axle. In wheel and axle, the axle is a rod that passes through the center of a wheel. The wheel rotates around the rod. It helps to move heavy objects. Merry-go-round, steering wheel of a car, skates are some of the examples of wheel and axle. Number 3. Inclined plane. An inclined plane is a flat surface with one end higher than the other. It helps to move heavy objects. It allows things to move from a lower place to the higher place or higher place to the lower place. Slide in playground, ramps for wheelchair are some of the examples of inclined plane. Number 4. Wedge. A wedge is made up of 2 inclined planes which together form a sharp edge. It is used to cut or break the things into 2 parts. Knife, axe are some of the examples of wedge. Number 5. Pulley. It is a simple machine with a rope or chain wrapped around a wheel. It is used to move the object up and down. We can lift heavy amount of weight with the help of pulley. Example, it is used to draw water from the well, and it is also used in cranes to lift heavy objects. And number 6 is screw. A screw is actually a twisted inclined plane wrapped around a rod. It is a nail with grooves cut into it. It is used to hold the objects together as it moves in a circle by rotating itself. Lid of a jar, bulb are some of the examples of screw.
Now I have got all my answers.